The following podcast may contain adult language and an abundance of salt. So get ready, nerds, because we're talking top 5 movies of 2021. Welcome, everybody, and thank you for joining us today on the Salty Nerd Podcast. We're going to be talking about our top 5 movies of 2021. That means the movies that we saw this year that we thought were a cut above the rest. I am joined, as always, by my fantastic panel of nerds. Matt Vader 74 is here, drinking some throat coat.
Throat coat.
How you doing, bud?
I'm good.
All right.
I'm trying to get the phlegm out. Yeah, I'm good.
Thank you for that.
Delicious.
Jude is also here.
Hello.
Welcome, Jude. How are you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. And Matthew Kadish, producer of the show.
Hi, everyone. This is a fun little end of the year thing that we're doing where we're doing some top 10 lists instead of a regular Salty Nerd podcast episode. But before we get going, I just want to remind everyone that if they want to help the show grow, go to saltynerd.com/rate and give us a review on Apple Podcast because it really helps us out. And also, if you hit the thumbs up on YouTube, if you watch us there, that stuff goes a long way to YouTube recommending our stuff and helping us grow. So we've had such an amazing growth this year that we're just very thankful to our audience for people who found us and liked us and are supporting us. And we're hoping to find even more people in 2022.
Yeah, we had a great comment the other day on one of our videos about how they loved how we just kind of felt like a bunch of friends sitting around talking about movies, which is exactly what we're trying to accomplish. So
That's what we do.
We really appreciate the comments. And I think I was looking into analytics and like 67 or something % of people who watch our stuff are not subscribed. So don't forget to hit the subscribe button. That also really helps us out. We're gaining a lot of followers and word of mouth is great. So if you can tell just one person, one friend of yours that likes movies, let them know about the podcast. It's going to go a long way for us. We'll get more following and get more people involved in the podcast and grow the membership and all kinds of cool stuff. So
Yeah.
Will they'll follow us?
yeah, on the socials.
If I said, well, if I walk like a certain way, would they like walk like me?
walk that way.
And that comment that you were talking about on
Yes.
YouTube came from Kieran C on our Red Notice
yep.
review. So thank you for that comment. And we do look at them and we do respond to them. And we just appreciate all of you who are commenting and thumbs upping and subscribing.
Right on. All right, guys. Before we dive into our top 5, we're going to take a break. We'll be right back. Welcome back, everybody. If you want to support us and the podcast, go to saltynerdclub.com for December only. We are doing a special giveaway of an limited edition hat and a bunch of other perks, plus our library of backlog content that is exclusive for members only. And in 2022, you're going to be getting 4 exclusive podcasts that are all about legacy sci-fi, which includes Star Trek, Stargate, Doctor Who, Buffy the Vampire Slayer, really cool shows that don't really get a lot of attention these days. We're going to be going through all those classic 90s and TV shows and stuff. So we're going to have a lot of fun.
Everything in the members area is ad-free.
Yep, all ad-free. And you guys, the support we get from our club members is amazing. Our Discord app is full of club members who just go in there and chat and hang out with us every single day.
And they get access to all of our outtakes too, which is a lot of fun because a lot of stuff Matt Vader and Jude say can't make it into the regular show. Otherwise,
or
YouTube will take us down.
Or we'll get removed.
Bullshit.
Just all salt and vinegar from these guys.
Yeah, some of Vader's most epic rants are just for the patrons.
Tired of the Google overlords putting their thumb on me.
All right, guys, let's get into this.
Foot on my neck.
So the top 5 movies of 2021 that we saw that were cut above the rest. We're going to start with number 5.
Yeah, and there may be some overlap here, but that's okay.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think that's all right.
fine.
So because we have not shared, we don't know what each and everybody's list is. So
It's a surprise.
Yeah, I have no idea what these guys are going to say, and
Some of us might have some honorable mentions.
I do have
at
one
the end,
honorable mention this year that I felt like
I have a couple.
deserved. Yeah. Okay. So Matt, Vader,
What are we doing?
the
Number 5.
Number 5.
Not 3. We're not starting with 3
Number
or 1.
5 is alive.
Go for it. What's your 5th favorite movie this year?
I spent a really long time last night going through our back catalog and stuff and looking at
this
movies
was
that we watched.
hard.
It really wasn't that hard. We watch a lot of movies. We watch a lot of movies for this show. We don't watch a lot of new movies.
Not a lot.
Or good movies.
Yeah, but
You triggered him for a second. Did you see that?
He was like, why do I do this?
Bad taste.
Bad Taste is a great movie.
Was that this year?
Everyone
think it was
calm
this year.
down.
God, I hate that fucking movie.
No, it wasn't this year.
It wasn't?
That was
No,
last year.
It was last year.
Because
But
that was an audio only one.
We're
That's
only
right.
talking about movies that came out
New
in
movies.
2021.
Yeah,
New movies that probably weren't in the theaters but should have been that we liked. Is that from 2021?
Yeah,
right?
go ahead.
Yes.
Yep.
Okay, number 5 for me. I'm gonna go with that really cool action flick, Nobody.
Oh, I almost put that on mine.
Yeah, Nobody was a really fun movie for me. I really liked it. It's kind of in that John Wick vein, but it had a little more of a humorous kind of tone to it, but not really.
It had Christopher Lloyd.
I know, dude. It had a lot of
shooting people with a shotgun.
Yeah,
And the man that you almost named your child after, Bob Odenkirk.
Odenkirk.
Great name.
Thorspog, yeah.
Yeah,
So-
you know, that was one of those movies where I debated putting it on my list, and I had to drop it down to an honorable mention. But like, that was a really good movie.
Yeah,
that movie was
that's
fun.
my honorable mention.
That's mine too. That's my honorable mention.
Oh.
Nobody. Right on.
Well, I'm glad
It's
it
weird
made
that Vader
someone's
likes
list.
something more than the rest of us.
I'm
do.
curious. If
Shocker.
Nobody is number 5, I'm really curious to hear what the rest of them
Oh
are.
God, his list is probably great.
I know, it's probably better than ours.
It's probably not.
Okay. Jude, what's your number 5?
Fast 9,
Really?
the Fast Saga.
Oh my God.
That made my
so
list
much
nowhere.
fun.
Okay.
Cars in space.
Okay. Yeah. I thank you for reminding me of that, because I went with my best friend and we were dying laughing the whole
Yeah.
time. It was so over the top, like jump the shark ridiculous.
Uh-huh.
We had a blast laughing at it. The whole audience. I was in an IMAX theater. The whole audience was cracking
It
up.
was hilarious. I loved it.
That's a good point. I
Yeah.
forgot. So number 5 for you.
That's
huh?
my number 5.
Wow, that's great. What was your theater experience? Was it like a crowd? A
I
packed
didn't go see
crowd?
that with you, did I?
Yeah, I took you to it.
Okay. It was either you or Tom. That's the only people I go to the movies with.
Well, we had to review it for the podcast, so
Yeah.
we both went to the theater and
Okay.
watched it.
Yeah. Great.
Okay.
Great.
And I just remember that time, like the minute they got into space, I was like, oh, come on.
Dude, they were steering the Pontiac in space with a steering wheel.
Hilarious.
It's ridiculous.
Absurdly hilarious.
And they rammed a satellite with a Pontiac. What was it? What is that car? A shitty ass 80s car?
An SUX 2000.
6,000.
So I based my list. My list is based on like how it made me feel.
Right.
And these are the movies that I liked the most, the top 5 that I liked the most that came out in 2021.
Okay.
My ranking is based on how it made
Your
me
enjoyment
feel.
of them.
Yeah. And I remember sitting in the theater and just like, "Ah!" you know, like just punching the air and kicking the air and being like, that's hilarious, that's amazing, I love it.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so this is my number 5.
Okay.
Yeah,
cool.
I think we all agreed that Fast 9 was a fun film,
Oh,
but
yeah.
it's not a good
It's
film.
not to be taken seriously,
Yeah.
but for me, it was so enjoyable.
Okay, that's fair.
Yeah,
Right on.
like remember when he was running on the rooftops and he like tackled what's his name
Into
through the
another
window?
building.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, John Cena.
Yeah, John Cena.
yeah.
My favorite part was how he zip lined across London.
Yeah.
And he's just got the look on his face.
It was freaking hilarious, dude.
Yeah.
I was dying laughing.
If you haven't seen that movie, please go see it.
It's so
amazing.
ridiculous.
You don't have to watch any of the other ones.
No, not at
Just
all.
go see that one.
Oh, and the explanation as to how John Cena is Vin Diesel's brother. They look nothing alike.
Yeah.
Oh, your dad got around, kid.
Yeah, obviously they're brothers.
It's all about family.
Obviously.
They
I
made a
live
co-
my life 1/4 mile at a time.
I don't got friends. I got family. Matthew Kadish, what's your number 5 top movies?
Yeah, speaking of John Cena, my number 5 for the year is The Suicide Squad. Not to be confused with Suicide Squad, but the James Gunn directed The Suicide Squad.
Suicide Squad, the.
Yeah, so the second Suicide Squad. And you know, like I just had so much fun watching that movie, and I thought it was a very like a superior sequel to the original. I liked how they used all the characters. Polka Dot Man was a standout. You know, Sylvester Stallone as King Shark. The performances in the movie were really good. You know, it set up the spin-off TV show really well. The humor worked for me. It was a great superhero movie. There was just like, you know, the more I thought about it, the more I liked the film. And like the final fight with Starro was so ridiculous that like, you know, it was funny. So I really appreciate like James Gunn, like how he's able to take these very obscure characters and put them at the forefront and make them interesting and relatable. The scene that stands out in my mind is when they're going through that rebel camp and Peacemaker and Idris Elba's character are just like kind of casually killing
Deadshot?
all these people. No, that was Will Smith's character. But
Dead Strike.
Yes. Was it Deathstrike?
no.
No?
No.
Death-
Strike Force 1.
Fox Force 5.
No, I can't remember his name, but like, so I'm just going to call him Idris Elba. But the deaths in the movie were kind of shocking. It took a lot of balls to kind of like kill off some of those characters. But like the humor balanced with the action, balanced with the dark tone of the film, like it just worked for me, and I really enjoyed it. And I wasn't thinking I was going to like it, but yeah, that's my number 5 movie for the year.
I just looked up his name and I'm upset. It's Bloodsport. How do we not know that?
Bloodsport?
Bloodsport.
Oh, that's also a movie with Vin Diesel, though, right?
No, that's the Jean-Claude Van Damme classic. USA.
Oh, Bloodshot was the Vin Diesel movie where he's like a robot or something.
Yes.
Okay. His name was Bloodsport?
You heard it here.
How did I not get that reference?
I don't know that I ever heard it in the movie because I feel like I should have remembered that.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a character from the comic books.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Right
Alex?
on. The Suicide Squad. Okay, now my number 5. Again, I said the honorable mention was Nobody. Great movie. Didn't make my top 5 list.
Don't judge me.
I'm not judging you. I think it was a great movie.
I see your hand.
Don't get defensive.
I can see your little hand movements. You're dismissing
You're
my
number
pick.
5. Your cute little number 5. No, I'm not doing that to you. My number 5 is based off of theater experience and then the movie making me want to go back.
I feel like we're all going to start overlapping now. Now I'm kind of excited.
Going back.
I doubt it. I don't think any of my number.
Are you okay?
Carry on.
That chin was strong, huh?
Wow, he's having a stroke.
Yeah. See, there you go, stealing my shit again. You gotta fucking stop that.
Okay, that was well done though.
As long as he doesn't do it again for the next 2 days, we'll be good. So my number 5 is Dune.
Okay.
I had a great theater experience. I had no knowledge of that story going in, and the movie was good enough to the point where I was like, wow, I really want to explore this. And I went back and I downloaded the book on Audible, and I'm becoming like a real big Dune fan now, and I'm really looking forward to the second part of the movie.
Did you finish the book yet?
I'm like 3/4 of the way through.
I'm so excited for you.
Yeah, I'm past the point where the movie ended, so now I'm kind of like getting into spoiler
I
territory.
can't wait to talk about the book with you.
Very exciting. So I'm having a blast with it, and I'm glad that there's a movie out there now that kind of like sucked me into a fandom that I didn't know I liked, which is I'm really into it. And I'm learning more about the Bene Gesserit, and I'm learning more about the politics of the Empire and the freaking what are they called? Hendotians? Whatever they're called. Dave Bautista's people.
Harkonnens?
Thank you.
Yeah.
I'm learning more about them and their family. It's really cool.
The Detrojans?
The Detrojans, yeah.
From Detroit.
So I'm really glad that there's a new movie out there that kind of like brought me into a new fandom. I'm really excited about it, and I can't wait for number 2.
That made my heart grow 5 times bigger.
I'm stoked. I'm really excited.
Yeah, I debated long and hard on to whether or not to include Dune in my list. I had to drop it down to an honorable mention because like I just don't think I actually think the movie is very overrated for what it is. So
I actually need you to stop talking.
I had a blast with it. And after reading the book up to the point where the movie's based on, I felt like there's a lot of detail missing in the movie that they kind of have to gloss over, otherwise it would be too long and too exponential.
Yeah, now you'll get what I was saying.
Yeah. But I think the heart of the story is there. Yeah. And it makes you want to dive deeper into it, which it worked.
It was a good prologue.
Yeah, it was a good prologue.
You know what? It's really fun for me because I got to see you experience the theater experience first. And now seeing like your take on the book versus the movie, it's a joy for me because I kind of get you now. Not that I didn't before, but like
you didn't. I'm kidding. I like to go camping, Jude.
I've always known you.
Oh my God.
No, but like I don't know. Like I got to get your take, and now I'm getting a new take from you, and it's just fun.
Yeah, it was cool. All right, so number 4, Vader.
Well, Jude, what is my number 4? Say right there.
Oh, Space Sweeper!
Oh, nice.
No.
No?
What?
Are you not reading it right?
No. Number 4 is
Let me
Dune.
see.
Dune?
Dune is number 4.
see.
Right there.
Move your finger. Move your fucking finger.
Just top quality content right here.
Oh. He has them listed out of order.
I do. I have them listed out of order. Because I wrote them all down and I had to rethink about what order I was going to put them in.
Okay.
But yeah. So number 4 is Dune.
Space
Dune.
Sweepers is great.
I know, right?
Sorry.
Fucking ruined my number 3. That's okay.
I'm a bad person.
So yeah, all the things you just said about Dune.
Yeah.
You can just repeat.
Okay.
So yeah.
Well, no, you can say it.
No, Dune is my number 4 movie.
Okay.
I really enjoyed this movie. It was everything I want in a movie, except there was no end to it. It probably would have been higher on my list if it had been a complete movie, but we all get why it's not, because it would take 16 hours to tell the story, and we're going to get the rest of it in a couple of years, right, Matt? So,
yeah, it's greenlit. It's being filmed.
Yeah, so I'm looking forward to it.
Right on. Cool.
Yeah.
Jude, how about you? What's your number 4?
My number 4, Willy's Wonderland.
Nice.
Yeah.
Right on.
That was so fun and unexpected. And the reason why why it's my number 4 is because it took me by surprise. And in the movies that came out in the years between 2020 and 2021 were just so lazy. And it was hard to get through. So, like, I don't know that it's actually like a fantastic movie, but when it came out, it was like a bright shining star in the midst of all of this garbage that came out. And it was so fun. It was like taking my childhood and making it into a horror story, which is all I've ever wanted.
It's funny because I debated long and hard about Willy's Wonderland as well, because I really like that movie. Nicolas Cage being the star and not having a single line of dialogue.
A single line.
Yeah, he was fantastic in it. It was a very original film.
Yeah.
Even though it's kind of like a callback to Five Nights at Freddy's and stuff like that. But I remember when we watched it, we just had so much fun watching that movie. It was great.
And then we got to talk to the writer of the screenplay, and that was really fun too, getting like the inside information on like how this all came about. And
is that the Lost interview?
Yeah, that's a Lost interview.
Oh, that's
the file got corrupted.
Oh no, that's the one?
Yeah, that was the one.
No.
We had an interview with him and we talked to him, a super nice guy, and then the file got corrupted and we couldn't release it because it was just unusable. I was real bummed out about that, but yeah, it was cool talking to him though. I agree with you.
It really was. Like, we got that info, but I guess you guys didn't. But yeah, like, you guys know I love horror movies. I love camp, and this gave it to me, and I needed it. And Nick Cage, we all fucking love Nick Cage.
I'm still looking for him. He lives around here.
He's going to be on the show someday.
We're going to get him someday.
Should we start
I stalk him.
driving around town?
Looking for Nick Cage?
I know some of his favorite restaurants. So I go to like these places just maybe if I can see him.
No, you don't.
I have.
No, you don't.
Yes, I do.
Oh my God.
There's a sandwich joint.
Pick me up.
There's a sandwich joint over on the other side of town that I know he goes to.
Make sure you guys are both wearing Salty Nerd t-shirts when you do it.
Yeah. There's a, for real. I'm not even shitting you.
Swear to God, Vader and I are the same person. I just did that thing with my straw where I accidentally spit on myself that he did 30 seconds ago.
There's a cheesesteak place on the other side of town. I think it's called Pops or Juniors. Or
I love
something
Pops.
like that. Well, that's like supposed to be his favorite sandwich place.
We have to go every day for a
I
week.
know, right? So I've gone over there a couple times to tell the wife, I go, hey man, let's go see if like Nick Cage is over at the steak place, right? She's like, okay, let's go.
Someday.
He's never there, but he's gonna fucking be there.
He's a Vegas local. Someday we will have him in our studio.
Yeah. And I'm gonna I just want to eat my sandwich, take like a selfie with him in the background. It's like, got him on the fucking show. Yeah, it's gonna be awesome.
Yeah, but very good choice.
Yes,
I'm
great
going to
choice.
start trolling him.
All right, number 4, Matthew Gators, go ahead.
All right, so number 4 for me was The Smell of Muffins, Boss Level.
That came out in 2020 because I wanted to put that on mine.
Wait, did it?
Yes, but I could not.
Did it come out?
Hold on.
I could have sworn it came out this year.
I really wanted that.
No,
for
it says
my list.
2021.
What?
Yeah,
See,
R-rated 2021.
I knew it.
On my I looked it up on IMDb because I wanted
Google.
it, and it. Oh God damn you, fucking IMDb.
Don't.
Yeah, so I remember when we reviewed this because it was a Hulu
Yeah, okay.
exclusive, and we had the
IMDb says 2020.
They lied.
It's okay. It counts.
Okay.
We're counting.
Okay. Thank you for allowing me my movie. So I remember when we watched this and we were all so surprised at how much we loved it. And we all became Frank Grillo fans overnight.
Yeah.
So it's an action version of Groundhog's Day, reimagining of Groundhog's Day,
Yeah.
where basically this action hero keeps repeating the same day over and over again, where all these assassins are trying to kill him. And it's got a great cast. It's got Mel Gibson in it. There's a lot of fun kind of assassins in there, over the top characters. And Frank Grillo just freaking killed it as the leading man in this movie.
He's so great in it. And this would have been my number 5, but I looked it up on IMDb and it said it came out in 2020, so I didn't put it on. But great choice. Great choice.
Fudge your numbers. You can put it in right now. That's good.
Yeah, but if no one's seen this, it's free on Hulu. If you subscribe to Hulu. It's an original film for them. Joe Carnahan directed it. He's a very talented director, and it's got heart to it. You care about the characters. the mystery behind how the day's repeating and what he has to do in order to survive was really good. The action scenes were freaking amazing. Like he wakes up every morning with a helicopter with a Gatling gun coming in and just like destroying his apartment. It was so badass.
What a way to
Naomi
wake up,
Watts
right?
is in it, and she looks amazing.
She does.
Yeah.
She does look amazing.
Yeah.
His relationship with his son, really good. So, and I think it had one of Vader's favorite moments where the guy gets the sword in the head.
Ow, ow.
I smell muffins.
Yeah, so like that was a kind of fun meme that we took away from the movie. And yeah, like I just remember like we all had such a good time talking about the movie and watching the movie, and it's definitely my number 4 for the year.
Nice. My number 4, and this is very similar to Jude's reasoning for Fast 9, is Kong versus Godzilla. I went to the theater.
Oh, dude, I forgot all about that.
I went to the theater. I think it was with Kadish.
Yeah,
And,
with me.
and you were there too?
I think we both. All three
I
of us
wasn't
went.
there. I went with Tom.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I went in. I'm like, you know what, dude? I want to see giant freaking monsters fighting giant freaking robots on a giant screen and just overblown audio.
Yeah.
And I don't give a shit about the human story. It's exactly what I got.
Yeah, this
It is-
almost made my list.
It was so much fun to just see like a dumb freaking monster movie. It felt great. The graphics were fantastic. Godzilla looks badass. King Kong with his freaking axe. I was like, yep, that sold. Freaking Mecha Godzilla. Kadish is in the movie and he's like, dude, that's Mecha Godzilla. And I'm like,
elbowing you,
yeah.
and you were pissed.
I know. I'm like, yes, I know. I saw the trailer.
Yeah, he was just like, why do you talk during movies?
Okay. We all have known each other for a while now.
Yeah.
When have you ever seen Kadish get excited?
It's very
That
little.
time.
Yeah.
That one
The
time.
Mecha Godzilla,
Yeah.
when that thing showed up on screen, he
know
was like,
it
dude,
for what
dude.
it is.
Here's Kadish excited. Watch Mecha Godzilla. over
I
there.
mean, if he gets into a state where he's
That's accurate.
elbowing someone, you need to stop and recognize.
It was really cool.
This guy does not emote.
No, he does not. No, half the time I'm like, are you okay? Are you pissed? He's like, no, I'm fine. Why?
I do the same
going on?
thing. He's
Well,
like, babe, this is just my face.
I'm having a great day.
It's my resting Kadish face.
I'm having a great day. His profile pic.
He changed it.
Oh, that's right. I'm not on Twitter anymore, so I didn't know that.
He did cry yesterday.
He-
Fucked
I
him
had
up for the whole week.
I had a dog. Oh my God.
Fuck
Don't even get
me
me
up.
started on that. Please don't. Oh, God, I swear to God, if that movie's on your list, I'm going to die. I had a great time and it did exactly what it meant to do. And I'm glad that I spent the freaking $20 at the theater to go see it. So that made my number 4 list. All right, number 3. Matt Vader, go for it. What's your number 3?
Well, Jude already told everybody my number 3.
Sorry.
Space Sweepers?
Space Sweepers
Tell
is
us
my
about
number
it, 'cause
3.
I haven't watched it yet. I was gone that week when you guys did it on the podcast.
Oh, wow.
I haven't.
serious?
Yeah, I haven't seen it.
It's so good.
I know it.
I don't know if it's on everybody else's list. It's probably not. But for me, it was just one of those movies that like hit all the right buttons.
Yeah.
It was, you know, I'm so pissed off at the Star Wars franchise and the Star Trek franchise and the space fantasy genre out there in general. I needed something to give me some faith that there was still some epic space fantasy out there.
Yeah.
And this movie touched all of those buttons.
Nice.
It pushed them all.
Mm-hmm.
And it was just a fun, cool, Korean-made, big budget,
Space
big
opera.
space epic movie. It was a ton of fun.
Well, it was only like $36 million budget. Right?
Yeah, I don't know how much it was. I don't
like
care.
low compared to American
Yeah,
standards.
but it was good.
Well, South Korea's been
Yeah.
putting out some banging content.
Yeah,
lately.
you know,
He
and
has some really good up and coming
you
content.
guys all pissed me off to the point where I was genuinely annoyed with all of you because you wouldn't watch this fucking movie. And
You don't hide it well. We know.
no, I know. And I finally convinced you, and you all liked it after it was said and done.
I'll
So
have to sit down
And
and
he
watch
felt
it.
vindicated.
I
Nice.
did a
That's
little
good.
bit.
Oh
You
yeah, I
would,
bet
you would love it.
I'm
Alex.
sure.
Yeah,
I will.
it's really good.
It's on my list. Like I have it on Netflix, and it's on my list of things to
Download
watch.
it and watch it at work instead of
will.
Air
Yeah.
Force One, just one day.
Yeah. No, it's definitely well worth the watch. It's one of the best things on Netflix,
Cool.
and it's good. It's good stuff.
Was it Danny or Tom who sat in on that one?
Tom.
It was Tom.
All right, Jude, number 3, go for it.
This is my number 3, and it's not on any of y'all's lists. I guarantee it. Malignant.
Is that the one where the chick had the thing in the back of her head?
Yep.
Oh,
I am a horror movie lover.
oh,
And this movie gave me all of the cheese, but in 2021, and that's hard to do. In 2021, if you're putting out a movie that's campy and cheesy, it's really hard to do it right and give that perfect amount of cheese and camp and still make it like a believable for 2021.
Yeah.
And this gave it to me. It was so like unintentionally funny that I loved it.
That's
I
a
loved
James
it so
Wan movie,
much.
right?
Yeah. It's also the most ridiculous movie I've seen all year. Because I watched it with her, and I was like, Jude, what are you watching? And she was like, I don't know, but I love it.
I loved it. The whole movie. I was like, what?
I don't think I've seen it.
Probably not. It's a cheesy horror
don't see
movie.
it. Don't see it.
I can't give it away the ending because that's like the whole.
Hey, if Jude likes it, it's probably pretty good.
She likes
Wow.
chopping mall.
Who are you?
I don't
Oh my
know.
God! Did you see her face change when you said that?
I'm looking at you
Just
in a whole
yucking-
different
You
light.
guys yucking her yum over there. It's not very nice.
My champion.
Okay, all right, cool. I watched it with you and Tom. And I was like,
we had you come to a
it was Thai food and alcohol night, and I was
Oh
just
God,
yeah.
yeah,
that sounds great.
That was the second time she watched it.
really,
Yeah.
Oh my God,
Thai food,
you guys,
alcohol.
that's why you were sitting over my shoulder.
Food. It was Indian food.
Oh, that's right.
Booze and terrible movies.
Some terrible booze too. You guys had like some cans of like
Oh my
nonsense.
God.
And Tom was like, I gotta get rid of these things. Can you drink them? And I was like,
Okay,
no.
so Tom was about to move, so he had to get rid of all of the things in his house, and he just had a shit ton of booze because we have a friend who's a rep that just like brings over booze all the time, and it's always terrible shit. So we were just drinking like
The worst.
seltzers and like this weird peanut butter whiskey.
Oh.
And, yeah, it was terrible.
So
It was terrible.
I got
But it
drunk.
was
I
fun.
got drunk on some nasty shit.
Oh,
that
peanut
night.
butter whiskey. I've heard of that stuff.
Yeah, it's not
yeah,
good.
that sounds nasty.
No.
Yeah, I will say, go watch Red Letter Media's review of this movie because it's way better than the actual movie.
How dare you?
All
See
right,
how he yucks my yum, Vader?
I know it's terrible. I
Kadish,
don't even know what you're with.
I feel abused.
Kadish, what's your number 3, bud?
So my number 3 is kind of a movie that flew under the radar this year, but when I watched it, I had so much fun in, watching it. I found it immensely enjoyable. It was funny. It was scary. It was like a cool mystery, and it's a little movie called Werewolves Within. And it's about this guy who kind of comes in as a park ranger at this like kind of remote Christmas town, and there's a werewolf on the loose who's going around mauling people and killing them. And it's one of my favorite kind of setups where it's basically a bunch of people in this huge hotel, and they're snowed in, and all the characters are very interesting. They got Guillermo from What We Do in the Shadows in the movie, and it's just like it's a cool mystery because you're trying to figure out who the werewolf is, but it's also like very funny, like the jokes land, and it's just an all around good movie. And I was surprised at how much I liked it, but it was probably one of the better movies I've seen all year.
So Kadish watched this. We
flight.
were flying across the country to go to his brother's wedding, and he watched it during the flight. And I had forgotten my iPad that I had downloaded a bunch of shit to watch during the flight. So the whole flight, I was just like annoyed because Kadish is cracking up the whole flight watching this movie. But then once we got there, he was like, "Here, take my iPad and you can watch it too." And he was asleep at the time, and I was cracking up the whole time he was trying to sleep. And it really was great. Good choice.
Nice. Right on. I haven't seen it. I'll have to check it out. My number 3, a movie that surprised me, I did not expect it to be good. We reviewed it on the podcast, is Blood Red Sky.
Oh,
The
yeah.
vampires on a plane. It was
That's a good movie. I forgot about that one.
vampires were badass in that movie, dude. Like it was like 30 Days of Night badass.
Yep.
And I really had a great time with it. I thought the story was very simple and easy to understand. They did great with the graphics, the blood gushing, the freaking creepy ass looking vampire. The story was great. The mother and the son dynamic. Like I had a really good time with that movie. I thought it was way better than a lot of people expected it to be. So that hit my number 3 list.
It was definitely better than I expected it to be.
Yeah.
But it was still kind of like a weird film because
it was a foreign film, right?
Yeah, it's a German production, and it's your typical kind of like, I guess like it almost felt like Die Hard on a plane, but then
with vampires.
Yeah, but with vampires. so like it became kind of like a horror movie on a plane because people are up in the air, you can't really do anything about it.
Yeah.
But the thing that stands out in my mind is Dominic Purcell, who plays one of the terrorists. Like, he's kind of a fairly recognizable actor.
Yeah.
And, you expected him to be like a major character in the movie, and then like he dies like midway through, and you're just like, oh, okay. That was kind of
It's always weird when they do that, right?
Yeah, right.
It's like,
The biggest name in the movie dies halfway through. But no, I had a really good time with it. I thought it was graphic.
That's a Netflix original film.
Yeah, it was graphic. It was horror driven. The one scene where she lit the dude on fire that was inside the car.
Yeah, and the vampires are very Nosferatu-esque.
Yeah, which I really like. I love Nosferatu, so it kind of tickled my fancy on that one. All right, guys, before we get to our number 2 and number 1 spot, we're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back. Stay tuned. Welcome back, everybody. Vader.
What?
We're back.
Okay.
What are you doing?
What do you think I'm
Probably
doing?
playing fucking Dragon Champions.
Oh, my God.
Oh, Jesus.
He's actually playing it. Is that the one where we have the promo code for? Or one of our affiliates? That's pretty cool.
Yes.
It is?
Yes, it is.
What level are you now? You were like 37 last time.
I just dinged 39.
Nice. Moving up quick.
Yeah,
That's pretty cool. So, guys, we have an affiliate link with Dragon Champions. Go to saltynerd.com/DC and type in the promo code SALTY, and you get some perks to help start you off and a cool little like barbarian character that comes along with it. And Matt Vader and Matthew Kadish. Kadish is a long-time game player, right?
Yeah, I've been playing it since launch. I'm level 85.
Whoa.
It's the highest you can get. But it's a hero collector game in the vein of World of Warcraft. It's set in this fantasy world. And basically you unlock different characters and you upgrade them and you train them up so that you can use them to fight against other players. And it's a super casual game. It's free to play. So like, you don't have to spend any money on it. You can just download it for free. And it's addictive. Like I play it every day, much to Jude's chagrin.
You don't have to spend
Ladies,
money?
don't let your husbands get addicted to Dragon Champions because you will lose them.
Yeah, she's always like, why are you playing that stupid game instead of paying attention to me?
I mean, do you love it more than me?
But on a serious note, guys, the company that made this game believes in us as a podcast, and we want to help support them as well. So go to saltynerd.com/DC, type in salty in the promo code area, and you guys get some perks, and we can help them out, and they help us
That's
out.
the letters D and C for Dragon Champions.
Yep, right on. All right, let's get into number 2 of our list.
Are we on number 2?
We're number 2, man. Matt Vader, what is your number 2 for?
Well, once again, we've already discussed this movie.
That's okay.
So we don't want to talk about it a whole lot. My number 2 movie was Boss Level.
Oh.
That's mine as well.
I had a great time
Yeah.
with this movie. It was so much fun. It was one of those movies that just kind of came out of left field and just kind of smacks you right in the face with a Gatling gun and some helicopters falling out of the sky and, just some really cool shit.
Yeah.
It was a fun movie, man. It was one of those movies. I actually watched it more than once. I usually don't watch our terrible movies more than once, but this movie I watched several times. It was fun. It was just one of those movies that sticks with you.
Yep.
And it was very unexpected. And like Matt said, it has a really good cast and it has a lot of fun action scenes in it. And one of the best kills ever in any movie ever made. I love it. Yeah.
It smells like muffins.
It smells like muffins.
I love that final sword fight between him and the girl that's the sword fighter.
Yeah, that was cool. Yeah, that's my number 2 as well. So I'll just go ahead and say my number 2 is Boss Level. It was an unexpected hit.
I'm so upset that I only consulted IMDb.
I am Guan Li, and I have done this.
Oh, that's right.
right.
Yeah, that is that thing. Yeah, she says it after every kill. It's amazing.
Right.
Yeah, it's a great movie. I highly suggest anybody go check it out. I had a ton of fun with it, and I'm a sucker for Mel Gibson, and he plays an awesome bad guy in that.
He
movie,
really
so
does.
It's
He showed up for like one day of work.
yeah, but he made
it
an
count.
impression. Yeah.
It's not like Bruce Willis when you can tell he's only phoning it in.
Oh God, remember Breach? That horrible Bruce Willis movie
That
that
was
we watched?
definitely one of the worst of the year.
We don't need to speak of it. Cosmic Sin.
I did not watch that. I was like, no, I'm not doing this again. I'm not falling for your trap. Jude, what is your number 2?
My number 2 is Dune.
Nice. Wow, you really liked it that much, huh?
I mean, I am a longtime lover of the book. I have devoured everything online that anyone's ever put out about it. So I've been waiting for this movie for a long time. And when I was making my list, I was trying to put my movie. I knew what 5 movies I wanted, and then I was trying to put them in order according to like how it made me feel. And I remember when I was watching this movie, I could not stop smiling because it was giving me everything that I needed for a Dune adaptation to be, and I cannot wait for the next one.
Nice, right on. I'm glad you liked it so much. That's really cool. Kadish, how about you, bud? What's your number 2?
All right, so we actually have some crossover here. So my number 2 is Space Sweepers.
Oh
Wow.
Yeah,
I'm shocked.
Like I was
very shocked.
I was super impressed by this movie, especially now that we've gotten to see the Cowboy Bebop adaptation on Netflix, because this movie was more Cowboy Bebop than the actual Cowboy Bebop adaptation. And it was so original. It's about these guys who run this like kind of spaceship that cleans up junk in the atmosphere, and they kind of like find a way to save humanity from like an evil plot. And the characters were all so like unique and interesting, and the world that it existed in was like a science fiction world that I hadn't really seen before. And the characters are always just like broke and miserable, and they like all hate each other, but they kind of team up anyway. And the ending was, for like a bunch of space janitors, the ending was very epic. And I want to return to that universe, and like I want to see more movies in that universe. And it was like one of the highest grossing films in South Korea, so I hope that they get to make a sequel to it. But yeah, Vader, thank you for turning us on to that, because I was very impressed with that movie.
I want to watch more South Korean and other foreign action sci-fi movies.
Train to Busan. I know it's not a 2021 movie, but I have to put that on my honorable mentions.
One of the best movies ever.
I watched it this year for the first time, and I teared up.
I think that was 2018 it came out.
Yeah, it's an older,
foreign big budget movies are legit.
South Korea, dude. Yeah. TV show Kingdom on Netflix, South Korean product.
Squid Game.
Oh, Squid Game is
Squid
huge.
South
great.
Korea is
Korea is coming up.
Yeah,
they're putting out
really
Parasite won like an Oscar.
Yeah, Parasite too.
They're making better movies than Hollywood is right now.
I agree.
Oh, word.
Especially TV shows too. I think they're leading the way in TV shows, because I'm addicted to Kingdom, dude. I want more. Yeah. But anyway, all right.
I can't get into Kingdom.
No?
Maybe I should give it another
It's a great
shot.
show.
It's a really cool show.
And I do love zombies.
They got funny hats.
In fact, we were talking about that show when we first started this podcast back in 2019.
Yeah. There's a cool twist with the zombies in the later episodes of the season.
I need to get caught up to.
Is it the sunlight thing?
I'm only in like 3 episodes.
It's a twist on that.
Okay.
I still gotta watch Squid Game.
You haven't watched that yet?
I just haven't had a chance.
It's kind of a mind bender, man.
I feel like once you start, you won't be able to stop.
I've watched 2 episodes, and I just haven't been able to find the.
Well, this is okay.
The time in,
so. Episode 3 is when it really kicks in.
I'll probably watch it when we're on our hiatus.
Episode 2 of that show is very slow, but once you get past that episode and you get back into the game, it's like, holy shit.
Yeah. All right. Are we at number 1 now?
We are.
All right.
So Vader.
I don't know if you guys are gonna appreciate this.
I'm excited.
I don't know if I struggled with this pick, but I don't think I really needed to, because this movie, back towards the beginning of the first half of the year, this movie was everywhere. It was all over the social medias. It was controversial. It caused a lot of. There was you couldn't type the creators of its name in without causing cultists and everything to go crazy in one way or the other.
Dead?
No, but you're close. I'm gonna go. You guys are gonna fucking kill me. Zack Snyder's Justice League.
Get the hell out of here!
Number 1 movie. Yeah.
The 4-hour epic.
The epic. I appreciate giant, long directors' visions for these kind of genre movies.
Wow.
It's like Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
I'm gonna pick the director's cut, the 4-hour epics every single time. I just appreciated this movie. I appreciate that they let him do his thing. Well, it was a million times better than that garbage Justice League cut that we got. And it's just, it was fun. It was good. It gave the fans what they wanted, and I don't really know what else to say about it.
I forgot that came out this year.
Yeah. It was everywhere.
It was.
Yeah.
It was a big it was like a fan revolution.
It was a big deal.
Yeah. Like the fans nagged the shit out of DC so much that they were like, fine, here.
Yeah. And he knocked it out of the park.
Wow.
He really did.
And I feel like this was a situation where like the fans rallied and afterwards they were like, we did it.
We won. We won.
Yeah.
And it's an incredible movie. And just to see his, however long, 4 hours.
It's pretty damn close. If it's not 4 hours, it's damn close.
Yeah, I
will give you that the ending of that, the epic finale in that movie is so much better than the one we got before.
Agree.
Yeah. So much better. With the Flash doing the time jump thing, like it was freaking awesome. Like I do agree that was really cool.
Just a super cool, fun movie, and I had a great time with it. I probably like it now. I know for a fact, I like it now way more than I did when I first watched it.
Okay.
Because I've had time to soak it in and appreciate this movie a little bit more.
I'm very surprised.
So,
I did not see that coming.
Yeah.
That's cool. Good
Yeah.
pick.
All right.
Jude, how about you? What's your number one movie of 2021?
Well, speaking of giving the fans what they want, Ghostbusters Afterlife.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
This movie gave me all the feels. I cried at the end. I left the theater just like stereotypically like leaping up and clapping in the air and kicking my heels together. And I was on such a Ghostbusters high after I left. And it was everything that I wanted every other sequel to be, but didn't get. This gave it to me.
Nice.
And I know that there are a lot of people out there who are like, nah, it's trash. And here's how the story doesn't hold up. But I'm basing my pick on how it made me feel in the moment. And it gave me everything I wanted. It gave me the heart. It gave me the head. It gave me the tingles down below. I loved it.
Right on. I do remember. Yeah, I'm not even a big Ghostbusters fan, but I loved watching that movie. It was so much fun, and Phoebe was great. Having the old crew come back at the end for the big finale was awesome. It did definitely give you the feels, those nostalgic feels.
And I'm sure that like all of the reboots and adaptations and sequels that have failed helped this like be more appreciated by diehard fans. So without those, maybe it's not as good as it is to me, but like having lived through a million shitty versions of sequels and reboots, this is what I wanted.
You're making funny faces over here, bro.
I'm trying not to say anything.
What are you going to say?
It's been a couple of weeks since we watched this, right?
Yeah.
If we had to redo the review right now,
You would.
I would probably knock it down to a star.
Oh, no.
It's just, I don't feel like it's, upon reflecting on this movie, it's not aging.
Two movies ago, you were my hero.
I know, right?
Now you're yucking my
I know,
yum.
but I'm not trying to. That's why he made me talk.
Well, you're making funny faces over here.
I'm trying to
like,
not split
Okay.
into the microphone.
I feel betrayed.
But it's a really good movie. Don't get me wrong. I think Matt might be able to explain what I'm feeling a little bit more than me, but I do love this movie. Don't get me wrong. I do love this movie, but I think I might have done a few things a little bit different. And it doesn't really, I don't know what to say. I can't even express myself right now because
Okay.
I don't want to like.
We'll go to Kadish's number one then. I'll let you stew a little bit.
Yeah.
What's your number one, bud?
I'm with my lady friend here. Ghostbusters Afterlife is
Nice.
my number one movie of 2021. We had such the uplifting theater experience. Like it was just so refreshing to finally get a movie that knew how to deliver on what Ghostbusters fans wanted, especially after the 2016 version. It's like night and day, and I got teary-eyed at the end with Egon and all this other stuff. Like it was just like it worked as a movie, even though there are problems with it as a movie. I didn't really care because it was an entertaining film, but like emotionally it hit all the right notes. And it was just like, it was so refreshing to finally see like a good movie that kind of paid respect to the original film that we all love so much. And I know that the year is not quite over yet as we're recording this, but out of all the movies I've seen this year, that one had the biggest effect on me. And I have to give it my number one spot.
Nice. Yeah.
I've never loved you more, Kadish.
Didn't even make my top 5. No, I get it.
You salty bastard.
No, I'm not trying to be salty, and it's an amazing movie. It really is. I think if we revisit this movie in a year from now, I think we might all have a little bit different take on it.
Maybe. We'll see.
So we'll see.
My number one movie has already been talked about, but it's Willy's Wonderland.
Wow.
Oh.
I gave that movie a 5-star when we reviewed it.
Wow.
Nick Cage in a non-speaking role, just kicking the shit out of those stupid Chuck E. Cheese dolls from those dumb freaking amusement park things. It just makes me so happy. So that cold black heart of mine just warms a little bit.
It's ironically Nicolas Cage's best performance. Like it really is.
Yeah, it's so good. It's so fun and enjoyable and dark and like has a really, really dark sense of humor. And the soda can that he drinks, a cold heart kicking the kisser or whatever the catch line is, freaking hilarious. It's funny when it needs to be funny. It's dark when it needs to be dark. And it's bloody and gory, but not really because it's like hydraulic fluid or whatever from the robots. But it's also about a bunch of freaking possessed toys from these like child killers that stayed in this little building, and it's like a haunted thing. It's got everything, and it's got the dumb kids who die gruesomely. It's amazing.
Such a weirdo.
I am a weirdo. I love the dumb college kids who get freaking mutilated.
It is fun to watch dumb college kids get it, isn't it?
Yeah, it kind of is.
It really is.
So I had a blast with it. And when I was like scrolling through the movies that came out this year and I saw Willy's Wonderland, I was like, oh, I like had flashes of like, I remember how much fun I had watching that movie. So that's my number one movie for 2021 is Nicolas Cage's Willy's Wonderland.
Does anyone have any honorable mention?
I do.
Well, we talked about Nobody, which is a lot of fun, very John Wick-ish. And then there's another chick Wick film that I thought was really good, but didn't make my list.
Let me guess. Is it Kate?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, it's Kate. Netflix's Kate movie. Ton of fun, bloody, gory, great story, great choreography. Fight scenes are cool. Gun fu is a lot of fun. So
At the opposite end of that, the worst chick flick.
Gunpowder
Milkshake.
Gunpowder Milkshake.
100%. I started compiling a list of movies that I was like, these are the ones I hated the most.
And Jolt, I think you guys talked about at one point.
I didn't hate Jolt, but I watched it, and then at the end I was like, did I like that? I don't know. But Gunpowder Milkshake, I remember audibly being like, oh, this sucks. The whole movie.
Nice.
I want to make an action star.
Do you have any honorable mentions?
Yeah, I actually have 3.
Oh, cool. Go for it, bud.
And you know, one of them was Resident Evil that we talked about earlier today.
Raccoon City?
Yeah, Raccoon City.
Cool.
Raccoon City, bitch. Raccoon City, bitch.
That movie is going to probably age well.
Yeah, for sure.
I have a feeling we all enjoyed the shit out of that movie. The other two, and Blood Red Sky was on somebody else's list.
That was my list, yeah. Number 3, I think.
And the other one that I just really enjoyed, and I just discovered the franchise this year was A Quiet Place Part 2.
Oh, yeah.
And I watched A Quiet Place and then in Part 2 together for that show that we did.
That might have made my list. I forgot about
those were really good movies, and I was pleasantly surprised at those because I was late to that train.
Yeah.
I really was. And it's good. It's a really fun horror, whatever.
It's what Invasion should have been.
Yeah, what's Invasion should be. Yeah, exactly. So
cool.
those are my honorable mentions.
Nice.
So.
Jude, do you have any honorable mentions?
I'm really upset because I only consulted IMDb, and I went to IMDb to be like, okay, Boss Level has got to be on my list. And IMDb was like, no, bitch, that came out in 2020. And I was like, okay, I have to leave it off. So now that I know that IMDb is bullshit, and I should have asked Google, Lord Google, Boss Level.
Yeah?
Should have been my number 5.
Okay.
And Fast 5 should have been my honorable mention.
Okay.
And Space Sweepers is great. I totally forgot about that movie.
Nice. Kadish, I can see your notes right now.
Yes.
You have like 6 honorable mentions. Go ahead, bud.
A lot of them have already been talked about on your lists. So like one of my honorable mentions is Nobody. The other one was Dune.
Yep.
Willy's
Wonderland is on there. Kate was also on there. Like these are all movies.
I'm really surprised you guys like Kate as much as you did.
I thought, in comparison.
I thought those movies were just generic John Wick movies with women.
I thought that the cinematography in Kate was amazing. Like it's one of the best looking films I've seen all year. And I just liked the story. I liked Mary Elizabeth Winstead in the lead role. I thought she killed it. So like there's a lot of things to like about these, but there are 2 other movies that were not mentioned that I wanted to talk about. The first one is Evil Dies Tonight, Halloween Kills. When I saw this one, like I know it's been getting a lot of crap for
Never heard of it.
It's the sequel to Halloween.
Didn't watch that either. I've never watched the Halloween movie.
Me neither.
So basically in the first Halloween with the Jamie Lee Curtis, the reboot, Michael Myers was trapped in their basement and the house was on fire and they were all like kind of like in rough shape and being driven to the hospital. And then like this is the sequel to that. And even though like it's not a great movie, I really enjoyed watching it. And the Red Letter Media review of this movie, like it nails everything wrong with it. But at the same time, I was like, I don't care. Like it was a fun movie. And the final one that I had to give an honorable mention to because I cracked up at this movie. Like I was in tears laughing so hard. And it's the one that Alex watched before the original, Coming to America.
I'm done.
I love that movie so much, like because I'm such a fan of the original.
You're
and,
a silly person.
well, you were with me as I
was.
lost it at certain points in that movie. It was really funny.
It was
I
terrible.
loved it.
It wasn't very
So
good.
bad.
Alex, I need you to stop speaking.
I'm sorry, it's just not.
So
Listen,
it's
you're
dark.
going to make my life harder if you keep speaking because I live with him.
Listen, it's ridiculous that you watched that movie first, but it's not ridiculous that you think it's kind of dumb because it really isn't that good.
And also, Alex doesn't understand comedy. So.
That's true. He hates
I'll give
things
you
that
that.
are funny and heartwarming.
I'll give you that much.
I do hate Hallmark movies.
That's another one of those movies that I think I like more then when I first watched it than I do now after having been able to
It just
see one in a while. It feels more like a money grab now at this point.
Yeah.
it's just a
It really
shameless
does.
freaking
It's like,
grab at like, hey, remember this from
Who
the
made
80s?
that? Was it Netflix?
No,
It was
so
Hulu.
no, it was Paramount, but then they sold it to
Prime?
to Amazon.
Okay.
And it's kind of funny because like I don't think I've laughed so hard at any other comedy I've seen this year. Like I was almost passing out because like there were moments in that movie that just had me like cracking up, like to a ridiculous degree. Jude can attest to this.
Yeah.
The only thing I remember liking about the movie was
Credits.
No, how could I forget his name? Blade. Wesley Snipes.
Wesley Snipes.
The only thing I liked about that movie was Wesley Snipes' ridiculous character.
It might have helped if you had seen the original before.
Yeah, that's true.
I don't want to
It
keep
is-
having this argument.
I know, it's dumb. All right. Is everybody good? Everybody
No.
satisfied? Oh, you have? Go ahead.
So we talked about Gunpowder Milkshake.
Yes.
And I fucking hated that movie. I hate that movie so much. And the other one that I watched this year, which I confirmed with Lord Google that it did not come out this year, but we watched it this year, was Monster Hunter with Mila Jovovich.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my God. I hate that movie so much that if it fought Gunpowder Milkshake, I'd want them both to die.
That was a P.W.S. Anderson movie.
Very, very skanky movie.
Yes.
There it is. Sorry.
So I just
I'm
wanted
with
the
you.
world to know that I hate that movie.
Okay, cool. Jude's most hated movie that she watched.
It was a
2021.
really bad movie.
It was aggressively bad.
It's one of those. Okay, so if you've watched the podcast before, you know that like if I watch a movie and it makes me angry, it has to make me angry for me to rate it 1 star. And that movie made me so violently angry. It is a 1 star, solid 1 star with fury and flames behind
Oh
it.
my gosh, that's amazing.
I will say that the one movie we did watch this year, it didn't come out this year, but the one movie we watched this year, which was probably the worst movie any of us have ever seen, Easter Bunny Kill Kill.
Oh yeah.
Don't talk about it.
But we're not going to
Don't
mention
talk
it.
about it. We're not going to talk about it.
So glad I was gone that week.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, like that's in the pantheon of like the worst movie I have ever seen.
You're making me feel dirty right
Yeah, I don't even want us to acknowledge that movie ever.
All right, guys, that's it for our top 5 movies and Jude's most hated movie of 2021. Thank you all for joining us. Really appreciate it. Don't forget to like and subscribe and help support the podcast by word of mouth. Tell one friend, just tell one person, hey, this podcast is cool. Go check it out and share the link. And that would really help us out. And don't forget about our December only. There's only 50 spots open for our $30 tier special giveaway with a hat and a bunch of other perks and a backlog of 2+ years worth of Matt Vader saying obnoxious things on
Talking
members
about
only.
boobs. It's mostly boobs.
But anyway, we really need the support. We'd appreciate it. And you guys get a lot of perks in return. So consider helping us out. Matt Vader, where can they find you on the socials, bud?
You can find me at MattVader74 on Twitter, YouTube, and Instagram.
You probably just find him playing Dragon Champion.
Find him stalking
be.
Nicolas Cage at a
be.
restaurant.
We'll be at
I'm going to
Pops.
find it. I'm going to find it.
Vader, I swear to God, if you find him and you have not picked me up, I will never speak to you again.
Sorry.
Guys are so weird.
Text me. I'm on my way.
My
We're
wife-
going looking for Nick Cage.
My wife's
I'll
going to
sit
be.
in the back. I don't give a shit.
She's going. Let's go to Pops get a sandwich. Okay, but we got to go pick Jude up first.
Jude, where can they find you besides at Pops with stalking Nick Cage?
You can find me in the trunk of Vader's car. Just peek it out. You can find me at I am Jude Juju on Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok. And you can, if you're on Facebook, you can go to our page, the Salty Nerd Podcast on Facebook.
Matthew Cage, where can they find you at?
You can find me at Matthew Kadish, Kadish on Twitter. KadishBooks.com will take you to my Amazon page where you can check out my book series, Earthman Jack. And also go to saltylist.com. That's our newsletter sign up link. And when you sign up to the newsletter, you get access to a private RSS feed where we're putting out content that is not available anywhere else. We do some deep dive into movies that we watch on the show and some fun facts and all that good stuff. So check that out.
I'm kind of glad I don't have access to that.
You're such an ass. All right, guys.
Fun facts with Kadish.
He puts the salt in the salty nerd.
I took my role, except when it comes to dog movies. All right, so guys, I'm Alex, the Salty Nerd. You guys can catch me on our Discord app. Help support us and go to our Discord, saltynerddiscord.com. I am there every single day chatting with the people who watch our stuff and with our club members. We have a great community over there. It's a fun place to be. So, and I just boosted our service. We can share videos now. So people who are already there, you guys can now share videos. I spent the money to do it because I was like, this is ridiculous. So now we have a top tier Discord freaking super duper server or something like that. I don't know.
Nitro.
Oh, is that what it's called?
Nitro boosted.
Cool.
Yes.
Go there.
Fast 9 server.
All right, guys.
Server in space.
Thank you all for watching the video. Have a great holiday and stay salty, my friends.